this is a good time, I think, to bring this part up of it. Is we've been developing Klinger Park over the last 6 years. It's basically to the point right now where all 3 fields are in. There's a large parking lot to accommodate about 100, 120 cars, and all the grass is planted around there. Now, there's still some infrastructure that needs to be built up. Whoa, okay there? But when I was doing the research for the grant application that we applied for, I noticed in our township comprehensive plan, it said under recreation, it said for Cecil Township to meet the needs of the year 2015 population, an additional 16.5 acres of community parkland would be required. The township has met this goal by acquiring these 35 acres and developing a Klinger Park. So my motion right now is I made a motion back in July of 2010 to not use any tax dollars for the park. I'd like to repeal that part of motion 2010-146 that states no township tax dollars be utilized to install infrastructure at the park. This will allow future supervisors to build out Klinger Park as money and funds become available in keeping with the comprehensive plan. It's not like I have plans on spending any money right now. It would just free up the restrictions on the future boards to do as they feel right. So I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second it.
Had you discussed this with anybody else?
No, I don't see that it makes any difference. It's just that I made the motion not to use tax dollars, and now if we pass this, they can use any funds available, whether it's funds that are raised by somebody or if some future board decides they want to spend some money to put in a playground, they can.
I mean, we're still working on grants. I'm defending a grant tomorrow morning in front of the LSA committee for the Montour Trail connector. So we're not, I mean, I don't think I can't speak for him because I haven't talked to him about it, but I don't think he has anything in mind, just
I have
for the
nothing in
future.
mind.
I understand.
It's just raising it. It's just that future boards now won't have that restriction. They can do as they please.
It doesn't obligate on one or the other. Okay.
It won't benefit me one way or the other.
Any other questions or comments? We have a motion and a second. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 No.
Carol, please report it. Accordingly, the motion carries. And DJ on 254.
Yes, 254 is to discuss the Cecil Township street sign toppers. Back in the early part of October, the Washington County Association of Township Supervisors had their annual convention over at South Point. And talking to several members of other municipalities, they knew they were in Cecil Township, but other than the small sign when you enter South Point, does it say you're in Cecil Township? Nowhere on any of our signs do you know where you are. We have 6 or 7 different zip codes.
So,
We have an identity crisis. Every time something happens at South Point, someone does something, gives $1 million to somebody, so-and-so company in Cannonsburg. We never get the recognition. And also, when people are traveling through, when you say Cecil, it's like throwing a blanket over something. We're Cecil Township, and we should be proud of that. We should say that. And we should have it on signs, and I'm proposing for next year's board, we're still doing some of the research, to put the street sign toppers on the perimeter streets only. We're not talking about Wilson Avenue or Cowden Road. We're talking about roads like O'Hare. We're talking about roads like Burnside, Rising, Glad, Anthill. Roads like that people come from the outside and they look up and they go, where am I? So it's nice that if we can do that, the project should be around somewhere between $25,000 and $3,000, but I think in giving Mr. Buntorf the ability to get the signs. Several years ago, we had an opportunity that we didn't take. When the federal government changed the regulations on the street signs, they had to be so tall, they had to be reflective, they had to be so wide, breakaway. When they did that, we didn't take that opportunity and design the topper for that current sign. So when we put some of the new signs in, they didn't have it. So now we have a mix of old signs and new signs, and Mr. Bottorff's replacing signs as they need to be replaced. Now, the great thing about these toppers that we can retrofit the old signs. When we put a new sign on, we can take the topper off and place it on the new sign. So it's a project that I think is worthwhile. It does help put up our identity. So
Roughly what was the cost per sign?
The sign that we initially had looked at designing was right around $20, and then the hardware was about $5. So you're looking at about $25 a sign. But we're going to look at some other options, and we'll report that back and give it to the next board.
I've noticed in other communities, you see this a lot of different places that they recognize there when you cross over into one of the street signs. I think it's a good idea, DJ.
I do too. We'll follow up on that, DJ. I know you won't be here in January.
Yeah, I will forward the information.
Good. Thank you. This next item, 255-2015. We've had an application on an appeal for a notice that went out from our zoning department. That is not this township board. That's not our hearing, but we appointed that board, and we need them to have their first hearing, which they would kind of organize, just like our auditors do, or our zoning hearing board does, or our municipal board at their first meeting in the beginning of the year. So I think we need to at least schedule that. We've had some people on the board. I think if we schedule a date for them, this first one, then from here on in, they'll be scheduling all their own as they get a hearing. They'll be a bona fide operating board, but right now they just need that first meeting. So I think our board has to set that. And plus we're in the timeline now that we have 30 days. Is it 30 days under the ordinance to schedule that hearing when there's a request?
It's 30 days, but it can be extended by the Board of Supervisors if they wish to, just to give you some flexibility, specifically since, this time of year, it might be hard to get a board together between Christmas and New Year's or before Christmas. So we do have some flexibility in that.
It'll always be our responsibility, because isn't the way the appeals board works, a date is set, and then whomever is available and doesn't have a conflict attends.
The way it's worded is that we work with the Board of Supervisors, the Board of Appeals to set a date. So we can set it ourselves, or we could do something along the lines of having, Dawn or me reach out to them and say, hey, when are you guys available? We'd like to do this within 30 days. Let's get a date when everybody's around, and then we give the notice of the hearing.
So the 30 days isn't fixed, or it's not
It's
firm?
not fixed.
Oh, good, because the applicant is, it's on a Pacini matter on a condemnation, so it won't go easy.
Right.
Can't that be the practice going forward, that if there is a request for appeal in front of the Board of Appeals, automatically the township manager and the township solicitor reach out to the Board of Appeals and set a date? I mean, wouldn't it be best if we stay out of it?
Yeah, I think that would be fine. For the first one, I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention to make sure that we set something up to make sure we have, even though there's no deadline, we don't want to be letting it drag on and on. So
No. I mean, but since it isn't us, we can't obviously set the date.
we are permitted to set a date if we wish to.
And we need to the first one at least, and if that board wants to take the initiative and set theirs as they give an application, if they have a chairman and things like that, then they can do it, but this first one, we need to set it.
They wouldn't have a chairman.
Suggest that we make it the second week of January.
Well, we can discuss, the board can discuss how they want to proceed. I mean, there's a lot of options available. We kind of drafted it to be flexible because, an appeals board isn't something that's going to be enacted and, called upon very often, so we wanted to give ourselves some flexibility. To Tom's point, yes, we could schedule their initial meeting and have them set their chairperson and let them schedule it from there. Or we could reach out and let them schedule their first meeting. So we do have flexibility. We can do whatever this board wants to do, but we should do something and give them some guidance as to when they should hear this appeal.
But I think in the second week of January, as Elizabeth suggested, we ought to set this first hearing. So I'm going to make a motion to that effect. We don't have anything scheduled on Tuesdays at this, or the second Mondays of the month at this board meeting room. So So I'm going to make a motion that we set that first hearing, their first meeting and hearing on the second Monday of January.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second
It's
it.
been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, the motion carries.
That would be at 7 o'clock.
Sure, that's what I said.
Might have this or.
All right, we'll make sure it's that, it's manned. All right. For 2/56/2015, we have to consider the minutes of our November 2nd meeting. Been
Seconded.
moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. For 2/57/2015, for the minutes of our Thursday, November 19th meeting, was it that special meeting?
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. For 2/58/2015, it's our general fund invoices from November 1st through November 30th, 2015. It's been moved
Seconded.
and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No.
Motion carries. Carol, have you recorded the vote as such? A couple of reports. Mr. Bosworth, what's been going on? What's exciting?
The most exciting thing for us right now is the weather. So we're not running salt trucks, and we're still actually paving. Now, we're currently out on Rudovich doing some base repairs, and we'll continue to do so through the end of the week. We're hopeful. It looks like Morgan Excavating will be up on Coleman Road tomorrow to do their full depth pavement repairs within the area of the walls within that work zone. Once they clear out, I'm hopeful that we have Thursday, Friday, possibly Monday, Tuesday next week. We'll go through Coleman Road and we'll strip pave with the paver just to make the road passable. This isn't anything permanent. It's just a wearing course being laid down to improve the overall rideability of the road and to get us through the winter. Something else I'd like to discuss is give everybody an update on the board on the status of the emergency generator down here at the building. Greg Milbar has been working on it. We had a construction progress meeting last Wednesday. Mr. Januso and Mr. Bukovinsky and myself met with Greg to discuss possible dates to take the power down on this building. Those dates right now, it looks like it's going to be done on a Sunday, either 12/20 or 12/27, so that he can do the switch over for the breaker panel. The switching gear box was mounted last Wednesday, and they're pulling wire right now this week to get that shutdown date in place on 12/20 or 12/27. Also, this past weekend, we held the 11th annual Toys for Tots up at the Public Works Building, and I just want to give a shout out to everybody that participated, all the residents that came out for this event. It was tremendous. I want to especially thank all three fire departments, Hughes, Lawrence, and Cecil. What a strong contribution these folks make to the success of this campaign, and also to the chief and his staff, especially to Carol for all the hard work that she's done, and also to the Toys for Tots coordinator, my foreman, Mark Secreti. It was a tremendous success. We still have toys coming in today. They had to bring another van over to pick up some residual donations. So again, I thank everybody who made this campaign for the children of Washington County such a success this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Dan, anything?
Really, the only item, I think I covered about everything else on the agenda tonight. That's what it feels like. So happy holidays to everybody. I'll throw that out there and report on one additional item. O'Hara Road signals, the flashing signals, we've been talking about those for a while. As the board may be aware, the one property owner is unwilling to grant an easement. Mike Heberman from our office has looked at that situation. We do have the appropriate right-of-way on Pristine Field side of the project. So he is looking to see from PennDOT if we can go ahead and install just a flashing signal on that side and abandon dealing with it on the other side of the road. So he has that request into PennDOT. We're waiting to hear what happens there so we can move forward with finalizing and seeking the bids on that project. I think that's about it.
All right, Dan, thank you.